What up everybody, I'm Matt Field and I'm the driver of the Falken Tire Drift C6 Corvette, and I'm gonna show you guys around my car. In most pro drift cars, the radiator is in the back. We try to keep the thing that makes the temperature and the heat, the engine, separate from the thing that cools it, the radiator. We also do this for weight balance, so it's obviously very important to get some weight over the rear wheels because we're trying to get as much traction as possible. There's a lot of carbon fiber and carbon Kevlar in this car, and I'm very fortunate that a company, HGK, makes all this stuff. So I was able to buy carbon Kevlar wheel wells. This is the fan shroud with Spall fans, the runout, all the rear bumper and quarter panels and all of that stuff, firewall, trunk, is all carbon fiber and carbon Kevlar. Back here, we also have a nitrous. We do that, nitrous bottles are heavy and there's not a whole lot of room in the Corvette. Radiator expansion tank and radiator overflow, as well as the engine catch can, diff, transmission catch can, as well as the aeromotive fuel system, because although this is a race car, it has like a stock style fuel cell, so the fuel cell actually goes in the stock location, which is right here. So it's funny, there's a lot of stuff in the back of a drift car where you look in the back of a normal car and you have trunk space. We try to fill up that trunk space as much as possible, keep the weight off the front and in the back. All right, everybody, the heart of any car, the engine. So I make a joke that although this is an LS engine, the only thing left that's GM is the oil pan gasket, and it's almost not a joke. It's an aftermarket block, so it's a Concept Performance LSR aluminum block, which is a lot stronger than the GM kind of stock block that most people would be using. And that's for good reasons, because this thing is making 1,060 rear wheel horsepower. It has a Vortex supercharger with 20 pounds of boost and 175 shot of nitrous. So it's a lot of cylinder pressure, it's a lot of boost that we're shoving in there, but it's, again, you need big power to be out here in Formula Drift. It's a Vortex YSI blower, which has a billet impeller wheel, and it's kind of funny because most people think that it's a turbo. I mean, I get it, it looks like a turbo, but what a Vortex is a centrifugal supercharger. So it's a belt-driven turbo, basically. It's cooled with a PWR intercooler, and the intercooler itself even has fans because it makes so much heat, and obviously we're going sideways, so airflow is not the best when you're going sideways, so we have fans on the intercooler. This thing does 7,500 RPM, and at 7,500 is where it makes peak torque and peak horsepower, and that's 1,060 rear wheel and 980 foot-pounds of torque. In the front is probably one of the most important parts of the steering geometry, or of the geometry of the suspension, because as drifting, you know, we require huge steering angles. So the suspension is handled by Part Shop Max, and we use their 3-way coilovers as well as every single arm on the car. All right, we are in the interior, the office, right? This is for me. Everything that is placed, everything that is in here either has a purpose for a race car or it's because I really, really like it. And I'll tell you, the Momo seats, steering wheel, the handbrake positioning, the gearbox positioning, the digital display, like that's all for me. It's all stuff that I really, really like, stuff that I've used for a really long time. It's funny, like, I think probably a lot of us would agree, when you're first getting into cars, one of the first modifications you ever did was put a wheel on it, and it was probably a Momo wheel. It's pretty funny to think that, because we all have no money when we first start, we have no clue. We always put a race steering wheel because we think it's gonna make us drive better, but you know, it's okay. One addition that I did this year that I'm very proud of is this, parking brake. I'm pretty pumped about that. Now, no more need to have your guy, hey, is there chalk there? The wheel chalk, pull the wheel. Yeah, no more of that. Push your foot on the brake, turn the parking brake, you can get out of the car, enjoy, do your thing. But this is another Part Shop Max product, so not only do they handle the suspension, they also have been making handbrakes for an incredibly long time. If you look in here, I have race pedals that are floor mounted. They're Tilton pedals. It's nice to get away from the stock pedals, which are very big, very heavy, and there's a ton of adjustability in these pedals. So when you're kind of making the next step to do a big boy race car, pedals are a must, so keep that in mind. Carbon dash, carbon roof, carbon doors, carbon door covers, carbon foot plate, just as much as we possibly can. We try to keep the weight down and then be able to add it back where we want it, like weight in the back, but this is, it's always a nice place to sit. And it's funny because I've only sat in this thing probably 4 times before today, because during the off season, we're working on the car, we're rebuilding this, we're tearing that apart. When we finally get down to it, you got a month to go, sit in your car, drive it, and get reacquainted with it. And the first time I sit in here and the first time I drive it, it's always a big wake-up call, because these things are no joke. But I'm incredibly fortunate that we have a pretty darn nice race car that I don't mind sitting in. Thanks for following along. Thanks for sticking around. If you want to learn more about me, check me out on the Throdle app.